Onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jalen Smith, and boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Check 52. Then we're going to 52.
They'll run on first down. Elliott, and he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On 2nd and 7, Prescott looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 12 yards there and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. They come out here in the I. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. Here's Elliott. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And out now come the Cowboys. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Play action now. Prescott lets it fly deep for Cobb. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Cooper's got it. That's good for 28 yards.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
On first down, it's Elliott, and that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
They can't hang with us.
On second down now, it's Elliott. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Kill.
Off the play fake, Prescott. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Jalen Smith able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And on the left side, he's got Witten. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Cooper was the intended target.